Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. This morning I was led to Jeremiah 24th chapter, and it basically speaks of the sign of two baskets of figs. Here we see the good and the bad figs, which is the hope of the disciplined believer and the tragic fate of the wicked, point blank. Jeremiah was shown the two figs, and the significance of this vision that Jeremiah saw was that the Lord showed him two baskets of figs that was set before the temple of the Lord. And the mentioning of the temple, I would say, indicates a problem, a worship problem. Judah had rebelled against the Lord. So the figs were given as an offering to the priests at the temple. And so the description of these figs and the location of the baskets, which were in front of the temple, suggests that it was like some kind of first fruit offering. But one basket was filled with good fresh figs, and the other basket was filled with bad figs. It couldn't be eaten. And so the good figs were depicted or represented as the Jews who would be carried into captivity. The bad figs are equivalent to the unrepented sinners, the Jews left behind in Judah and Egypt. And when I think about the context of captivity for the Jews, representing the good fruit, I think about what God's word says in Jeremiah 24 and 6 through 7. For I will set my eyes on them for good, and I will bring them back to this land. I will build them and not pull them down, and I will plant them and not pluck them up. Then I will give them a heart to know. To know. That's what the word says. A heart to know me. That I am the Lord, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God, for they shall return to me with their whole heart. So God is saying the good figs, those Jews who were carried into captivity, that he's going to discipline them for their own good, that he's going to take care of them while they're in exile, that he's going to watch over them and protect them there. He's going to restore them and bring them back to Judah. He's going to build them up, heal them of their apostasy, and give them security. That's what God's word says. But the unrepentant sinners, the Jews left behind in Judah and Egypt, God says he's going to judge them. Abandon the king, who at the time was Zedekiah, his officials, and the remnant of Jerusalem due to their sins. That's what God says he's going to do. He will make them an object of scorn, a focus of ridicule and disappointment. They're going to be tossed back and forth among all the kingdoms of earth. And he would also use war as a mean to execute his judgment. He would send the sword, famine, and virulent disease among them until they are consumed. So this is kind of like the United States. What are we going through? What do we see? taking place, you know? This whole chapter is basically a word from God through Jeremiah that those who are delivered out of bondage will be basically in the safety of God's arms. And then those who will be judged will deal with the consequences that come through their transgression, their disobedience. How does this apply today? Well, look at your life. Are you living in the will of God? Look at the decisions you're making. Look at our society, the things that are happening around us every day. And ask yourself, am I going to be a part of the remnant of people who will be saved, rebuilt, restored, and under the protection of God? Am I part of the people who will have a heart to know God and obey God and reverence God? Or am I going to be a part of the people that disobey, reject the word, reject instruction, reject application, dance to the own beat of your drum, and deal with the repercussions? If you don't think you'll be a part of the good figs, I encourage you to straighten up, get focused, take your walk with God seriously. Can't straddle the fence. Choose this day who you're going to serve, because your life depends on it. I hope this encouraged, motivated you to take action or continue to take action. Either way, God bless.